Hey everybody, Wildman Wes here. So, the world of voice actors lost a legend back in December of 2024. We found out last week that the voice of He-Man, John Erwin, passed away at the age of 88. It was pretty sad, though he had a fairly great career and a name in the industry as being some of the most iconic characters, if indeed just one, that outshines them all. It's been kind of sad, but at the same time, it happens when you get to that age. As much as I know him more as He-Man and Prince Adam from the Masters of the Universe series, I did delve a little bit deeper into some of his other works throughout his life. When I mentioned to my wife Becca the other day about John Erwin passing away, she said that his name sounded familiar, and then when we actually delved into it a little deeper, he was a character named Teddy on the show Rawhide from 1959 to 1965, where then it dawned on us, oh yeah, because both of our dads actually watched a lot of those westerns back in the day, and we got to relive them through watching it on TV. And I mean, and it's kind of interesting how you notice that later on of like the kind of, hey, I know that voice, or I know that person now, that makes sense. Erwin was also the voice of Morris the Cat from 1969 to 1978 for the 9 Lives commercials for pet food, as Morris the Cat being the world's most finicky cat. So, I mean, I didn't really know about that, and then finding out later, I was just like, oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, that's kind of one of the first performances he had as a voice actor, and that started a chain of other voices that he did throughout his career. Much like with his success between 1983 and 1985 being the voice of He-Man, John Erwin was also a voice actor for various amounts of cartoons from the Filmation company, such as the Archie Show as well as Sabrina the Teenage Witch, where he played Reggie. So, I mean, it shows that he did a lot of things, and also during that time he was also in a show called Groovie Ghoulies, playing various different voices. After his time on Masters of the Universe, John Erwin would do some voice acting in movies such as Looker, Everybody's All-American, Back to the Future Part 2, as well as various voices for the movie Babe. Though John Erwin was mainly involved with the Filmation cartoons, he did do some parts in other companies as well, such as Hanna-Barbera with 1979's Fred and Barney Meet The Thing, as well as Marvel Productions and NBC's collaboration of Spacecats in 1991. Apart from that, there was a long period of time where we didn't really hear of John Erwin doing anything in voice acting until around 2005 when he had a cameo spot on Family Guy on the episode Brian the Bachelor. Other than that, he then later retired in 2010. The news broke out that I heard about John Erwin's passing was that Alan Oppenheimer, the voice of Skeletor from the original Masters of the Universe, and also longtime person of Filmation and so many other productions, had pretty much briefed us that he had heard about it. So I'm not exactly sure all the details. It's sad that John Erwin is no longer with us. I mean, he gave us a lot of characters and performances that will forever be held dearly in the pop culture industry, to say the least. When it comes to my memories of John Erwin, I have to say it's He-Man, because that's the cartoon that I remember him in most. I honestly didn't know that he had voiced in so many other movies and other cartoons. And the good thing is, with streaming services, whether pay to watch or even some of the free apps with ads, there are some of those cartoons out there. I do believe that the Archie cartoon is on Tubi right now. I could be wrong, but then again, that also might be the 1990s version with the mysteries, which is kind of like a spin-off or knockoff of Scooby-Doo. So, like I said, I could be wrong, so don't quote me on it. But anyways, as I mentioned, my memories of it definitely were very positive, because the voice of He-Man and Prince Adam, and even John Erwin voiced a couple of the other villains of Masters of the Universe, such as Beastman, and so many others. I mean, I could go down the list, but I mean, he and the other cast members of the original series took a bulk of every character. I mean, if my mind serves me right, there were only about 6 to 7 people in the voice cast alone, including the founder of Filmation, Lou Scheimer. So, I mean, that says a lot. Just hearing John Erwin's voice in those episodes of Masters of the Universe, whether it was during the episode or doing the moral of the story at the end, that were in a lot of cartoons, whether it be Masters of the Universe or G.I. Joe or anything at that point, it made you feel like, as a kid, that you mattered. And I mean, you really don't see a lot of those morals at the end of cartoons anymore. I mean, as a new dad right now, looking at a lot of cartoons that I want my daughter to watch, I don't see a lot of morals at the end. I mean, the morals are briefly spanned out throughout the episode, which is cool, but it's just kind of, it kind of takes away from that fourth wall break that we as kids that grew up in the 80s and 90s were fond of at the end, even if then some of those morals might have been a little bit dry or kind of, huh? Oh, okay. Or, you know, we already knew it, thank you, Captain Obvious. But that was the magic of it. That was the humor and the joy of just watching these old Saturday morning cartoons. So, for all those parents out there that are my age and generation, and you have, you know, kids that are growing up, I honestly, you know, please be sure you introduce them to the cartoons you grew up in, appreciated so much, and the movies that a lot of these actors and actresses that made a positive impact in your life so special. I really have nothing else to say other than I'm Wildman Wes, and we hope you stick around down the line for some more uplifting videos, because obviously this one's more of a somber and sad one. Until then, though, we have the power.